Hey, scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with the second in the new Wreck-It Wednesday series, and I have 2 pages here, but I'm only going to be working on the pocket page in this video. I just have the other page up and to the side there so that I can see them together because they're going to go side by side, so I want to make sure that I can see both of them at the same time while I'm picking out like my papers and things. So I have these papers from I don't know if they're a local designer or what, but they're very East Tennessee related. I got them in my local scrapbook store, Scrappin' in the City in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they're Great Smoky Mountains themed, so I have that paper over there on the right hand side, and then I had that cut apart sheet that had a bunch of Smoky Mountain stuff as well. So I'm going to be using them for this series of photos. So I've got that card picked out, and now I've got some other papers. So recently I feel like I've been taking the easy route, I suppose, with my pocket pages because there's been so many. And I was looking through a few old photos of my older Project Life albums, and I used to do a lot more with the pocket cards and layering and things like that. So I got a little bit inspired by myself, and I'm going to be cutting up these photos, making them smaller, doing some different layering, and I really enjoyed this process, so I'm probably going to be doing it a lot more often. I know I do it again with a pocket page later in the Wreck-It Wednesday series, so we'll see what happens when I'm working on pocket pages on a different day. So if you didn't see the first Wreck-It Wednesday video, you can go ahead and go back in this playlist and watch it because it has the kit that I pulled together that I'm using for all of the next this video, the video before, and the next 4 videos in the Wreck-It Wednesday series. It obviously comes out on Wednesday, so it has like an overview of the kit that I pulled together and, you know, my thought process behind how the Wreck-It Wednesday works. And so I sat down and I did 6 videos, 8 layouts in about 6 hours, I would think, using the Wreck-It Wednesday kit and the pre-planned photos and pages that I decided I wanted to use. And it was a really fun process because I got to finish a bunch of layouts, which made me feel awesome since I'm so behind, but also because I got to use a bunch of product that has been wasting away in my stash and not being used even though I love it. So it's super fun to mix and match a bunch of different collections and a bunch of different products and just really sit down and get things done and get that stuff out of my stash and into my albums. So I am cutting up some more of these pocket cards, but I don't end up using that postcard on this side. I struggled a little bit, I think, with picking out what papers I wanted to use on this side. I do end up getting it. I don't use that map paper. I think that's what was throwing it off, was that map card on the left hand, or the left hand side there. It just wasn't working for me because you couldn't see the map, so it just kind of looked like a weird orange blotch, and B, the colors, as much as I wanted them to match, it just wasn't working out right. So it is what it is. I'll pull it out in a minute. Decided to mat that photo, get some layering on. And I'm using the Boys Rule, I think, collection from Coco Vanilla Studio mostly for these pages, or this page, except for that snapshots card. I wanted to use the nice light blues and light greens in that collection for this page because there's so much pretty blue and green in the photos. So I'm starting to commit to these cards, making sure everything's down straight. Rearranging still, I'll get there. I really love how this one ended up coming out, so I definitely get there. There's some silly photos of Patrick and I We did a lot of exploring this summer. We're still doing a lot of exploring, so obviously there's been a lot of layouts of our explorations, and this was just a short ride that we went on somewhere local that we've been on before, but we were having fun and taking pictures and all of that because that's what I do. So I just have a few photos and this 9x12 layout I want to work out on the right hand side here. Definitely a smaller set of photos than our normal hikes and things because we did not actually go on a hike. We went on a motorcycle ride. So I'm going to start using some of these Heidi Swap Wolf Pack stickers. I really love this collection. I use the heck out of these stickers on these Wreck It Wednesday videos. In fact, when it is over, they are mostly gone. I really wanted to use the animals on this page, especially like the bear, but I just can't seem to make them work out. So I don't think I end up using any of them, but that's okay. I do use them later. Adding in some journaling spots here and there. I'm going to add some journaling. The journaling I add is actually about that photo of me. Do I add journaling about the actual trip? I think I add a little journaling, just a little. There's not much to say. Here's some more pictures of Patrick and I having fun at Foothills Parkway again as we go on another motorcycle ride. Layering in some of these feathers and leaves and things. I like that go forth arrowhead. I'm going to pull out some of these die cuts. Just a couple. I do end up using a lot of these die cuts down the line, but they didn't quite match too much on this page. Even though I do use the stickers, I just couldn't find any that really worked for the die cuts for these pages, or these photos, I suppose. I'm going to use some of these clear word bit stickers, layer it over this green paint splotch. I do admit that I was having problems using these paint splotches and things because these stickers are clear, so obviously it's going to be really subtle, but I felt like they were more clear, or I was trying to use them on things that they just did not want to work on. I really want to use that on top of the world, but I could not find anywhere to put it where you could actually see it. I end up using it on the right hand side when I do that layout. So yay, because I've tried to incorporate that on top of the world into so many layouts that I've never actually been able to put it on. So you can see me trying to work in these animals. Not gonna work. It kind of worked there, but it didn't make a lot of sense, I felt, so I didn't end up using it. But an arrow is easy to work in. That works fine. Kind of trying to make sure that everything is nice and layered and pretty. I'm going to move this view over to the side and add some little hearts there. So it says, love this view. And of course, I'm going to rearrange the photos because that's how I roll. So I want to take this bottom one. It says current mood. And I'm going to add these Pink Fresh Studio letter stickers. And it's going to say so silly. And I'm going to put the current mood above it. Current mood, so silly, because he was pretending like he was sneaking up on me in the photo. He's a goofball sometimes. There we go. Now that I've gotten rid of that map card, I like this a lot better. I'm going to add this little scallop underneath the photo to add in a little bit more of that blue. Of course, it's real subtle, but I like it much better. There we go. Still trying to work in that wolf. That poor wolf. He never makes it on any of these pages. Womp womp. I'm going to look for some word bits, which is always my last bastion of embellishments. When in doubt, add a word strip. I want to add in some of these stars as well, just for a little bit of confetti on the page. I've been adding the date. I was on a dating my pages kick. So I'm going to add in the date and my journaling, and then I think this one's going to be about done. I add in a bunch of repetitive dating, just to fill up that space a little bit, and I'm good. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you, and if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. All right, thank you.